Terrific Tuesday so far. It's Andy here. I don't know whether it's because I've been holding my gavel a little bit today that I am proper pumped for tonight's Ask Andy show. And I hope you are too. Why? Because I've got 5 really actionable points that you guys are all going to be able to do from one of these. Yes, that's right. It won't matter if you are in lockdown, if you are in regional, if you are interstate, it makes no difference whatsoever, my friends. We will be able to action 5 different things that will make an absolute impact on your business, possibly your mental health, your sanity. Oh, man, hopefully this is going to help a few of you. Even if you just take one of them, right, then I am super duper confident that at least one of them will make a positive impact on your business, if not anything else, your mental health and well-being. There are too many people now that are moping about a little bit and feeling a little bit sorry for themselves. Look, don't get me wrong. I understand the gravity of the situation wholeheartedly. I'm an auctioneer and we can't do auctions, right? So I get it. But at the same time, there is absolutely a heck of a lot that we can do that is productive, that is going to help our businesses. All right? You can look at this thing 2 ways. You can either sit and mope or use it to accelerate your business. And even if you've just done nothing up until this point, there is still time for you to rock and roll, all right? There is still time for you to make improvements that is absolutely going to make a positive impact at some level on your business. All right, gang? So first things first, I want to ask you, though, how have you been out of 10? Let us know your scores on the doors in the comment section below so I know your flow as we head into the middle of the week. My Tuesday has been quite productive, I'm not going to lie. It's been a pretty good one. Got my head around a couple of little bits of software and whatnot that have made life a little bit easier for me, which I'm always going to be happy about. And I had an amazing conversation with a young lady called Jen, who is going to be on our show on the 1st of October. She's into behaviors and all that sort of stuff, but it's how you present yourself on screen, which I know a lot of people are still struggling with. So we're going to have her on the show next week. Super excited. Tomorrow night, we've got Devesh Shireen, who is the creator of Real Arena, which is taking your property brochure and turning it into an interactive piece of software. Incredible bit of kit. But we're going to be talking about property marketing in today's age, some of the modern things that we really should be looking at doing on a regular basis, and what things COVID has made us bring in that will last the test of time afterwards. So that's tomorrow night. Super pumped for that. But tonight, I'm going to keep this gavel in my hand because this is making me feel good. This is making me feel real good, this gavel. All right, gang. Let us rock and roll. Put your scores on the doors as I go through this. If you do have any questions about anything that I'm going to go through, because it is going to be pretty rapid fire, you can either post them in the comments section and I will try and get back to you personally, or I've put a link into the description of tonight's show. You can click that link and have access to my availability in my diary and book yourself a half hour, completely free, don't worry about it, chat with us to go through any specifics about anything we've talked about tonight, all right? So you can just hit the link, have access to my diary, and book yourself in at a time that suits you, okay, gang? So, deep breath, swig of the old coffee. Top Gun 2 coming into your cinemas next year, all being well. Let us rock and roll with the first one. I'll put my phone number along the thing below as well. So if you do want to call us, you can. I would encourage you to book something in though, because I don't like playing phone tag with people. It irritates you guys more than it irritates me. Okay, ready? Tip 1. I'm going to start with a slightly controversial one because loads of coaches and trainers love the ideal week. I'm going to tell you to ditch the damn thing. Now, one of the reasons why I got involved in coaching is because I do tend to operate in the real world. I have 2 young kids. I've learned to run my businesses around my kids, around my wife. And like a lot of you people, I have something of a life. Not much with 2 young kids, but it is there, believe me. And the problem with the ideal week is the fact that it doesn't account for real life stuff. What an ideal week tends to do is set you up for failure. So you can have your ideal week set and it looks beautiful, right? On paper. And you've got all your prospecting set for every single morning between 9 and 12 or whenever you do it. What happens when that phone rings and a vendor wants you to go and list their house at 10:30 a.m.? What are you going to do? Are you going to go and take it if we're in the real world? Or are you going to try a script or a dialogue and try and put them off? Even if they're saying to you, no, but we want to sign today. What are you going to do? You're going to go and get that piece of stock, right? Of course, you're going to go get that listing or that landlord or whatever the case may be. I want you to think about having a dynamic week. And it's a much more flexible way of getting consistency in your diary, because that is ideally what an ideal week is all about, creating consistency. Well, a dynamic week does exactly the same thing, except it gives you the thing that is called flexibility. It gives you flexibility. Here's how it works. So you've got your money makers. So your listing appointments, your offers, your buyer inspections, those things that can directly impact the amount of money that you make. They are set in your diary, around which you will have a set of daily KPIs that you need to get in to your diary every single day without fail. The night before, not in the middle of the morning, the night before, you look at setting your diary, you see all your money makers, and then you set your diary according to whatever you've got and whatever gaps you have left. Ultimately, gang, when it comes to things like prospecting, making calls, so on and so forth, there is no ideal time. I would advise that you try and avoid lunchtime, dinner time, and breakfast time. And definitely bedtime. All right. So as long as you're sensible about it, set all of your daily KPIs that you need to get done either side of all of your money makers and have it set in your diary from the night before. Once you've got that diary set, here's the crucial thing. Do not accept any more appointments that day unless it is an absolute, you have already prejudged it, predetermined, you have already pre-qualified that it is absolutely guaranteed to make you money. So that'll be 8 or 9 out of 10 of your phone calls that will happily move to the next day. It makes you pre-qualify those people. It allows you to control your diary, and it gives you the flexibility in order to actually provide consistency whilst actually maintaining your own life. Gang, it's just one of those things that an ideal week, as soon as you set up an ideal week, within 2 or 3 days, chances are you're going to drop the ball on something. And then the problem is, because you've set the rest of the ideal week, you've got no real room to make up for any lost ground. Whereas a dynamic week, say, for example, you miss a hotspot prospecting call session on Monday. Monday night comes, and you know you've got 2 of them to make up. There is not one of us where every single day is set with money makers all the time. And if you have got that diary, you definitely need assistance. Okay. But for a lot of us that are in that sort of up to 300-400K a year mark, especially, you haven't got every single day completely chock-a-block with money making appointments. So you have got time through the week to be able to make up for anything else that you have missed previously in the week. Dynamic week, gang. It's a much better concept than an ideal week, and it gives you the same outcomes. All right. Step 2, tip 2. So Dave Brailsford's incremental change. Now, I don't know if Michael Wood is still on the show and watching, but he should know who Dave Brailsford is. For those of you who don't know, he's possibly one of the world's leading sports team managers in any sport around the world ever. Hence why he's got a knighthood. Reason why is because he brought in to the British cycling team what he called the law of incremental change. And what he did was he goes, look, I can't make wholesale changes in a short space of time, but what I can do is look at every single individual component and increase its effectiveness by 1%. What happened off the back of that was Team Sky, with British cycling becoming one of the most dominant forces in world sport that the world has ever seen. And the cool thing about it is you don't even realize a lot of the time that you're actually making the improvements. So take on the law of incremental change, my friends. Every single day, just give yourself one small thing to improve. Just one. Just one. And if you do that, and it could be something really, really simple, really, really little, something like you can change the wording on one of your prospecting letters, for example, just something that small. You do that, and from now until stage 4 ends in Metro Melbourne, so that's 4 weeks or so, just Monday to Friday, you will have increased 20 individual components of your business. You will have improved them by a little bit. That will make a much greater change than what you realize, and you won't even realize you're doing it. So bring in the law of incremental change into your business. Highly recommended. Tip 3, shoot groundhog clips. Now, I don't know about you, but after the volume of listing presentations that I did back in the day and the amount of boredom that ran through my veins every time that I had to go through the same stuff over and over again to just explain the basic mechanics of different marketing methods, different sales strategies, commission structures. There are conversations, there are elements to every single conversation that we repeat over and over and over again. And the problem with that is, like I just mentioned before, it will impact your delivery because it will be an autopilot conversation, meaning that you won't be entirely switched on to the job at hand. So what I did to do 2 things. 1, improve my time efficiency with how long my listing presentations were taking, because I was doing quite a few, right? So I needed to make them be a little bit quicker. The most important thing, though, was that I wanted to create a dialogue between me and the vendors. It wasn't going to happen by me just spouting the same crap at them over and over again. So what I did was I set up a set of videos that said all of the standard stuff, all of the standard information that all of my competitors were saying and using as their entire listing presentation. I said to them, I'm going to send you an email with some videos that I would love for you to watch. Reason being is that once you've watched them and understood them to a degree, we can spend a lot more time talking about you instead of me. How much do you think that appealed to Mr. and Mrs. Vendor? Quite a lot, if you ask me. And not only that, it made sure that for me, I could keep my appraisal times to a good solid amount of time. 45 minutes, pretty much tops for the vast majority. And I could stick to that because it was 10 minutes of tour, 15 minutes of tour, plus half an hour of them talking and me qualifying. That's the way it should be. It's their biggest asset. It's not your next piece of business. That's the way you need to be thinking about this. And I'm telling you now, setting your groundhog clips, putting them into YouTube or something like that so you can just quickly set and forget a email template and an SMS template you can flick out as part of your pre-listing. It will save you so much time, so much effort, and so much energy in just going through it over and over again. And it will allow you to open up a genuine dialogue with your potential vendors. I could not recommend that enough. And the other thing was, it was clearly different because, again, a lot of my competitors were just saying the same stuff over and over again, and my vendors were getting bored. So it was just refreshing that they got to talk for once. All right, so that's tip 4. Tip 3. Tip 4, slide into your community's DMs. Now, this one, my friends, is about networking. And I know a lot of you really quite shy when it comes to the whole networking thing. But again, this is probably an easy peasy way of getting into it, if you ask me. When you look at your local community pages, your local sports teams, your local business groups, all of those sorts of things, on Facebook, there will always be an admin of some description on each page or on each Facebook group. I want you to go and find them, those people of influence in your local community, and send them a DM asking them for a Zoom conversation. And then from there, what I want you to then think about is what value you can bring beyond just passing off something of a check. Your skills and services are worth way more than any money that you could possibly offer. So think about how you can bring value to them via what it is that you already do. All right, gang? So that's tip 4. You can do it for free. You can do it on your phone. You can do it in lockdown. It really makes no difference whatsoever. G'day, Bernard. I hope you're well, my friend. So good to see your smile, as always. All right, so that's tip 4, my friends. Slide into your community DMs. And I would encourage you to set up one Zoom a week with a key person of influence in your area. You set up a decent relationship with them, offering value with what it is that you are already doing. And I'm telling you now, your reputation will be so much better to a lot more people. I guarantee you that. The last one. Set your useful contact sphere. Now, my friends, this is the thing that will be a damn sight more helpful on settlement day to your purchases than a smelly candle. All right? Or whatever your settlement gift may be, however fancy it may be. FYI, don't serve alcohol to non-drinking buyers. So many mistakes like that are happening still, which is ridiculous, crazy. But anyway, what do I mean by useful contact sphere? Whenever a buyer moves into a new area or a new house, generally speaking, they need stuff to be done. Now, whenever someone moves into a new area, one of the first things that they get concerned about is who are we going to go to for our mechanic, our doctor, our tradie, our chippy, our plumber, our sparky, you name it, right? The bog standard, trade type stuff that help people move on in their lives. I am yet to see a settlement pack of any real caliber include something as useful as a local contact list. It is a damn sight more useful. I'm telling you now, your purchasers, your potential vendors. So I always had a useful contact list in my listing kit because invariably the vast majority of my vendors had stuff to do before we cracked on. So I used to say to them, look, gang, there's in amongst all this sort of standard nonsense that you get from every other agent, the standard corporate stuff, I've got a useful contact list in there that I can say hand on heart, I vetted and I know how good they are. You give them a call and you tell them that Andy sent you and you need a couple of things done around your house, they will be around here pretty quickly. All right. If you can set your local contact sphere and let them know, speak to each tradie and get them set, that make sure that they're aware that you are going to be actively promoting them. Your potential vendors will love you because you've added convenience to what is a very stressful process. Your buyers that will have bought and moved into the area will love you because you have helped them genuinely integrate into the community beyond just making sure that their front room smells nice. Okay. Landlords, they will, it doesn't matter if they're in the area or not, they will want to know decent trades that they can call upon if needs be. Gang, useful contact sphere means that you become an interdependent individual within your local community. And I'm telling you now, it is worth its weight in gold for so many reasons. Have it set up. If it was me, I'd have it set up as a neat sort of, even like a DL sized open up. So it's an A5 folded maybe with all your useful information on one side. Set it up as a magnet of some description as well. I know that some agents do, instead of the calendars, they do sort of annual magnets to their areas. It's going to be a lot more relevant in the immediate sense to all of those immediate transactions. So your buyers, your vendors, and your landlords, and also your tenants, if you've got this cap in your budget to be able to do that. If you haven't got that cap in your budget to do that for your tenants, just print something off and give it to them in their welcome pack. Gang, it's a no-brainer. You will find yourself to have a lot of friends in the local area from a business point of view because you're helping them out. You're helping to promote their services. And as a result of the back of that, they will all turn into advocates for you. You're helping them. You're helping the vendors, your landlords, your buyers, your tenants, and heaven forbid, you might even help yourself. My friends, there are 5 tips that I am guaranteeing you implement all 5 of those, you will improve your business, you will improve your sanity, you will improve your level of action, whether you're in lockdown or out in the free world. All right, my friends, it's a nice, quick, sharp one. How do I not burn the other 20 Sparkies? Mate, at the end of the day, you wouldn't have enough business to refer to 20 Sparkies anyway. Make sure that you go with the one that you trust and understand. So all well and good saying that I don't want to upset anybody else, but at the end of the day, you need to know that you can trust these people. And even if you would never have 20 jobs potentially. Like even if you did have 20 jobs, chances are you ain't going to be able to serve them all to the different people. You're not. And your consistency in service is so critical here. One big thing that you all need to understand when it comes to your contact sphere is anybody that you recommend becomes an extension of your reputation. They cock up, it's on you. So you've got to make damn sure that you've got that contact sphere set, because if you don't and you just handball them out to all and sundry when it comes to that, wanting to please everybody, you're going to end up catching yourself real short, because it'll only take one of them to drop the ball. If you set up a decent working relationship with with the Sparkies and those sorts of people, I generally had 2 of each one. I had 2 Sparkies, 2 plumbers, 2 chippies, because of the fact that I told them so, because of the fact that I knew that if one was going to be busy, the other one was most likely to be free. I always had 2 of each, and then that way I told them both that I'll be alternating, and if it's your first choice and you miss out, I'll be passing it over. And they were totally cool with it because I was totally transparent about it. And ultimately, they both got lots of business off the back of it. I then used my Facebook page to help them as well, help them further, going back to the community thing, doing things that I am already doing to advance other people. Okay? For them, they just loved it. They thought it was amazing. For me, it was a couple of taps of one of these. And yet there are still so many agents that claim they have got nothing to do. I am telling you now, gang, you have got plenty to do. All right? Plenty to do. And every single one of those will directly contribute towards your end of financial year income. Guarantee it. All right, my friends? 5 tips, 5 actionable items on your phone for free. All it takes is a little bit of effort, but I'm telling you now, you will reap the rewards every single day with at least 1 or 2 of those. If you have any questions, book yourself in to a one-on-one 30-minute free, no obligation, folks. Don't worry, I'm not going to try and rope you into bloody coming on a coaching course with me or anything. It's just so that I can organize my time so that I don't cut you off or don't have to ignore you because I'm doing something else. All right, my friends? So just book yourselves into for that one-on-one 30 minutes. Let me know what bits you want to talk about in particular. We'll crack on with it, and then hopefully you'll end up leaving that conversation with a bit of armor, a bit of power to your arsenal that you'll be able to use every single day for the rest of your career. All right, my friends, I love you all. I hope that helps. If it did help, please can you share it with a few people? That would be amazing. I'd really appreciate that if you did. I'm going to be chopping it up and sending it around the houses. But please do what you can, because this is all stuff that I'm happy to give away to you for free. But I'm telling you, it's going to help. It's practical stuff as well. It's not pie in the sky, ideal world scenario nonsense that a hell of a lot of strategies tend to be. This is real world stuff, my friends, that I know worked because I've been there, got the t-shirt, bought the book, and I keep buying the book. Today, I've had 2 referrals myself. I'm still in the game. And I've got 2 young kids. I get the troubles of real life. And this is where all of my stuff comes from. If you find it helpful, please do me a favor and just share it about as a thank you to me. All right, my friends, love you all. Read it out. Take care. Most importantly, though, please stay safe, stay healthy, and please stay happy. And if you're not, give me a call.